Hey yo, it's Brian here. Today, gonna be talking about the San Francisco 49ers. As always, not doing a top 3 video. This time doing probably another podcast style video talking about the preseason and what to look for, looking at the depth chart that the 49ers had from a couple of days ago. This is kind of the official, unofficial depth chart. A lot of things they didn't take into account, I guess, was injuries and what have you. Well, I guess they did because guys like Nick Bosa, they're not the first team guys to be starting because he's gonna be out for the rest of preseason. So yeah, there you have it right there. But anyways, gonna be talking about preseason, just things to look for, players that could definitely use it to benefit themselves to make the roster. And let's just get into it. But before I do, please like and subscribe to support my channel. That would definitely help me out a lot. Click that bell notification, get notified of future videos. Share this channel, share this video with fellow Niner faithfuls. Yes, please share this content with fellow 49er faithful fans, whatever you want to call us, other NFL fans. It definitely helps me out a lot. We are going to get very close to 2,000 subscribers, so I hope to get to 2K by the start of 2019 week 1 against the Tampa Bay Bucks. If you guys can do that, maybe I'll do something special, probably a Q&A. Kind of missed out on my 1K one. I said I was going to do one, but I never did a video for that, so I'll definitely do that for 2,000 subscribers for a Q&A session, whether if you want to talk about football or my personal life. There you have it. But first, let's get to 2K subscribers to do that. All right, let's get this video started. 49ers preseason, what to expect, and the depth chart. First up, going to be talking about the depth chart right here. The 49ers communication staff, they released this on August 6th, 2019, which was a couple of days ago. Some pretty obvious ones: quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, first team; CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins, second teamers. Some other things to be noted. I'm not going to be going over every single position. Some of them were pretty easy, like George Kittle. He's the number one tight end for this team. You got Mike McGlinchey, Joe Staley, some of the offensive line. Center, Weston Richburg, I think he's still out for an injury. I forgot what it was exactly, but he's not on the first teamer. He definitely needs to have a great season for 2019 because 2018 was a pretty big disappointment for him, in my opinion. The wide receivers, it's a little bit interesting, I would say. They got Marquise Goodwin and Dante Pettis starting the receiving core for the two receiver spots. Pettis, that's probably not a surprise because Garoppolo, he'll probably go to him a lot. Last year, he did go to him quite a bit when they were able to play together. Goodwin, I guess they're banking on him and Goodwin to be great chemistry play like they were in 2017, so that's pretty reasonable right there. Other guys behind him, Trent Taylor behind Goodwin, Kendrick Bourne behind Pettis, so I guess Kendrick Bourne is earning his stripes definitely for 2019, and he's a guy that could definitely use the preseason to make his final case to make this 53-man roster because it's looking like he might be a little bit on the outside looking in, not because he's not a good player, he's a great player, or a talented player I should say, but there's just a lot of receivers we have on this roster, and it's not easy to keep everybody, so that's why I'm putting him on the little bit of outside looking in. He could be a guy to look forward to in this preseason period. You got Jalen Hurd, Deebo Samuel, Jordan Matthews behind him, and yeah, that's a pretty good list right there. Other things, tight ends, I said George Kittle already. They have Ross Dwelly and Levine Toilolo as the backups to him. Caden Smith is on the third teamer for some reason. I think he should be on the second teamer, but we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure he could use the preseason to get a little bit more NFL experience. That'd be amazing. But, you know, as I said, or if I didn't say already, the first 2 weeks, I think they play the Cowboys and Broncos or something like that. They don't really mean anything, to be honest with you. And then the last 2 games against the Chargers week 4, and I forgot who they play week 3. Those games are going to be mattering to everyone from starters to the bench because starters, they want to get ready for the regular season, and the guys that are on the roster bubble, they definitely want to make their final case to make this 53-man roster because, hey, as much as I want to keep everyone on this team, hard to do that because, you know, 53-man roster rules and only 46, 47 players active for a single game every week. So there you have it right there. All right, what else? The running back position, let's look at that real quick. Looking at it right now, Matt Breida, the number one guy. Not a big surprise right there. A lot of people had Coleman as the number one guy. I think San Francisco had him at first, but Breida, he's the proven guy. That's good right there. Tevin Coleman, I think he's going to be going really well for this whole period. The big concern is definitely Jerick McKinnon. I don't know what's going on with him. I think he still has some lingering knee problems. He got an injection a couple of days ago, so that's a very big concern. Hopefully he gets really well for the regular season. I think he's going to be out of all preseason, which I probably would do that if I'm the 49ers and McKinnon himself is not to play at all in this preseason period. There's a couple of guys are pretty much out for this period. I'll talk about that on the other side of the ball. What else to talk about? That's pretty much on the offensive side of the ball. Looks pretty consistent for the most part, although there's just some depth issues, I would say, just because of injuries and what have you. A lot of problems are definitely going to be on the defensive side of the ball. D Ford, Sheldon Day, DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead are the starting guys on the first teamers. Nick Bosa is a technically backup just because he's not going to be playing at all in this preseason period. John Lynch has pretty much ruled him out, which is pretty unfortunate. I'd love to see him play in this preseason period to see what he could do against a real team, but hey, we don't get to see it until the regular season. And, some people are saying it's not the biggest injury, but to get knick-knack injuries left and right, that's just not good, to be honest with you. I mean, when you see a player just get hurt left and right, oh man, they're just more susceptible to injuries. It's not a good sign, to be honest with you. And as we all know, he has an injury history dating all the way back to high school when he tore his ACL. Then he had a core muscle injury at Ohio State his last year, didn't play at all pretty much that whole season. And now he has 2 injuries for the 49ers, come from minicamp all the way to now. Not a really good sign for him, and a lot of people were very weary of him when he got drafted number 2 overall, not really because of the contract situation, but just because of his injury history, and I was concerned about that as well. That's probably why I was a little bit reluctant to draft him with a number 2 overall pick if I was John Lynch. I would have picked Josh Allen or Quinn Williams, although Williams was a little banged up, but he's not getting any headlines that he's going to be out for the preseason. Josh Allen for the Jaguars, he looks like he doesn't have any injury problems. I don't hear anything like that. So Bosa, very talented player. We all know what he's capable of, or I should say probably capable of as a NFL player, but can he stay healthy? And as we all know, the best ability is availability, and is Bosa's not available to play, then his talent means nothing, to be honest with you. So hopefully he can stay healthy, and yeah, that's my big, talk of injuries for the day. But Bosa, he will be out for the rest of the preseason, and we'll probably see him week 1 against the Bucs. Jason Verrett, I don't know, that's a little bit more iffy as well. I think he had another ankle injury as well. He won't be playing this preseason pretty much. So that's 2 very important guys, high value guys that are not going to be playing this whole preseason period. Depends on what I'm feeling. I don't know how to feel about the preseason. It's a good and bad tool. Mostly good, I would say, but, when you hear injuries like Jermaine Kearse of the Detroit Lions, or I think he's playing for the Lions now. He was playing for the Jets a couple of years ago and then the Seattle Seahawks at first, but he is out with an ACL surgery, I think, for the rest of the season, and that's because of the preseason. So hopefully that doesn't happen to anyone in San Francisco. That would not be a good thing right there, and I would be pretty upset if that happens. Not because, they got injured, but it's just the injury gods are just being mean to us for whatever reason. So they have it right there. What else? The middle linebackers, or the linebackers, I should say, Fred Warner, the middle dude. That's pretty obvious right there. Some people on other websites like ESPN or FanSide, they had Quan Alexander as the Mike linebacker, but Fred, he deserves the middle linebacker spot just because of what he did last year, and he's a proven guy, being able to stay healthy for the most part. Quan, he's coming off an ACL surgery, so that's a little bit of concern, but I think he's going to be ready for week 1 when he faces his former team. Malcolm Smith, he's the starting Sam linebacker, which is kind of weird, to be honest with you, because I'm not the biggest fan of Malcolm Smith. He doesn't really prove anything. He hasn't been doing anything for the 49ers. I don't know if he's going to have a career revitalization come regular season. I know this is just preseason depth charts, but I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of his. Elijah Lee, I would honestly give it to him because he's proven to be a much better commodity, a much better player than Smith at this time right now. Last year, he pretty much outplayed him for the whole season. So if this was week 1, I'd probably give it to Elijah Lee, Fred Warner, Quan Alexander as the linebackers. Cornerbacks, Richard Sherman, Keller Witherspoon, that's not a big surprise right there. Hopefully Witherspoon can have a great season, have a little bit small, decent showing of the preseason, hopefully into the regular season. Quan Williams, Adrian Colbert, Jaquaski Tart, there will be the nickelback cornerback, free safety, and strong safety. So, for them, that defensive backfield, it's not really about their roster spot. It's more for depth, who's going to be starting week 1. And Adrian Colbert, Tavarius Moore, Marcel Harris, Tart, that whole safety lineup right there, they're going to be fighting for the number 1 job, I guess you want to call it, for week 1, first snap of the season. So there you have it right there. Special teams, some noteworthy things. Mitch Wisnowski is going to be the punter, looking pretty good from all accounts. That's amazing. We need an Andy Lee type kicker again. Robbie Gould finally signed that contract. That's a great news for the whole team. Trent Taylor, he's going to be the punt returner. Richie James Jr., he's going to be the kick returner. That's good. Richie James, as you all know, I'm a big fan of his little speedy little man, and I think he could do really well for the 49ers if he makes this team. So he could be a guy to look forward to in this whole preseason period. So yeah, depth chart, pretty good for the most part. I'll have a link in the description talking about this and everyone that the 49ers have put on this roster right now. Preseason coming up right now. What to think of it. It's kind of risky to play, to be honest with you. I mean, with all the injuries that the 49ers have, I don't know if it's a good thing, to be honest with you. I know it's good for people that have roster bubble, I might not make this team kind of mentality. But if anybody that's coming off an injury or just injured in general, it might not be a good thing, to be honest with you, because as I said, we don't want a Jermaine Kearse situation where you tear your ACL or tear your Achilles in the preseason and can't even play a regular season game. That would not be a good thing right there. So, just hopefully the starters, they take it easy out there and just play conservative football, just get their football shape coming back, just getting them, get to know them getting hit, I guess, a little bit in the NFL, because, preseason, they don't really hit as much. Everyone wants to be preserved. Nobody wants to get hit until the regular season. So, just to get a little bit of a feeling, preview of what regular season football is like again, because they haven't played since, I guess, December. That's a good thing right there. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys talked about the depth chart, talked about preseason a little bit. I'm excited for tomorrow against the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if it's going to mean anything. We'll see who's going to be performing. We'll see who's going to be underperforming. We'll see what the starters like Garoppolo are going to be doing, if he's going to be playing at all for this game against the Cowboys. And I'll talk about that probably after the game is over, which is happening after 9 p.m. Eastern time, and that's pretty good timing for me. That's it, guys. Preseason depth chart. I'm ready. I hope you guys are as well. Football is almost back officially, and hopefully everything goes well for the 49ers. That's it, guys. Please let me know what you guys think about preseason depth chart, everything like that. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below. If you guys like this, please like and subscribe to support my channel. That would definitely help me out a lot. I'll be catching you guys up tomorrow after the 49ers versus Cowboy game. I'll see y'all then. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your night/day. Go Niners all day.